So let's welcome in our political panel to talk about the results from last night. Joining us is Democratic strategist Joe Cepicky, founder of Cepicky Communications, and Robin Moore, president of the Wisconsin Federation of Republican Women. Thank you both for being here. Let's look at the vote totals from last night. We're hearing that more Democrats voted than Republicans. I believe it was 82,000 more Democrats than Republicans. So, Joe, let me begin with you. When you look at those numbers, does that mean anything come November? Is there really anyone you can call a front runner in the governor's race?
Well, it certainly continues a trend we've seen throughout 2018 of Democrats being very enthusiastic about voting for change. The most recent matchups between Evers and Walker, according to the polls, show Mr. Evers with a healthy lead. I expect that this will be a tight race, hotly contested over the next 3 months. You can't say because there were more Democrats there on primary day that there are going to be more Democrats there on election day in November. Democrats are going to have to work.
And Robin, we sort of saw this pattern in 2014 as well. Governor Walker, though, hinting that he's the underdog here. Do you buy that?
Well, I think we always like to see our candidates run like you're 2 points behind because you're going to be working very hard for every single vote. But we did see last night a repeat not only of 2014, but the 2016 fall primary numbers as well, as far as that difference between the Democrat voters and the Republican voters.
Joe, let's talk about the U.S. Senate race here. It will be Democratic incumbent Tammy Baldwin against Leah Vukmir. Vukmir last night talking about that she is a nurse who has become a state lawmaker and looking to make health care an issue in this campaign. Do you see it being the issue for voters in November?
I certainly see it being a clear contrast. Tammy Baldwin has fought to expand access to health care, to protect consumers against health insurance companies. And let's be clear, Leah Vukmir supports the Donald Trump Scott Walker plan to go back to the days when you could discriminate against people based on pre-existing conditions. If I was Leah Vukmir, I would want this campaign to be about anything but health care.
Let's talk about that then, Robin. Leah has been very supportive of President Trump when it comes to immigration as well as the trade wars. Do you see those as two big issues in the general election?
I think they'll certainly be discussed. Immigration is what got President Trump elected. That was his main issue for at least most of the beginning part of his campaign, and Senator Vukmir has said that she supports him in building the wall. So I do see that as being a potential. As far as tariffs go, I think we're seeing that play out still. We're hoping for some short-term pain for long-term gain in bringing back balance to the trade deficits between us and countries around the world that see the United States as their piggy bank.
Joe, we just talked about health care, but yes, immigration, trade wars, don't you think those will be top issues as well? And how will that debate play out as we go into November?
I do, and I think it's problematic for every Republican in the state of Wisconsin that they are not being more critical of President Trump when he is attacking great Wisconsin companies like Harley-Davidson. Leadership is about disagreeing with those who most of the time you do agree with. And Republicans' inability to stand up to Donald Trump is going to loom over this entire race in the fall elections.
And Robin, just quick response. Do you think President Trump will be here to help Leah Vukmir?
I would expect that we will be hearing from the president. He does like to get involved in the races, and so we'll welcome him if he wants to make an appearance here in Wisconsin.
Robin Moore and Joe Cepicky, we appreciate both of you being here.
Thank you.
As we did leading up to the primary, today's TMJ4 will once again be broadcasting debates with the candidates as we count down to the November election. We will have a debate between Democratic challenger Tony Evers and Republican incumbent Scott Walker. It will air live on today's TMJ4 from the campus of UW-Milwaukee. I will be moderating the debate with my colleague Shannon Sims and Mitch Teich of UWM. The debate date and time are yet to be determined. We will also be airing a debate between the candidates for U.S. Senate, incumbent Democrat Tammy Baldwin and Republican challenger State Senator Leah Vukmir. That date and time also still up for debate. Everything's still being finalized as we speak.